Peter Navarro, Trump's administration senior counsel for trade and manufacturing, joins me. Now, I didn't know if that was some kind of stinger that Finnerty was continuing on the same thread there.
I can go there if you want, because it's the craziest thing that we haven't been able to crack down on, but we're working on it. It's just nuts.
It is nuts, Peter, the kind of stuff that they are putting out there, and they're getting more and more emboldened. So I want to talk.
Dangerous nuts, by the way, Bob. Yeah, go ahead.
10 of the most expensive states, Democrat-led here. Talk about this, how we got here, and where you think we're going, and really the messaging to combat what they are trying to sell to the American people.
Well, let's start where we're going. Today's prints for the Consumer Price Index indicates that Trumpnomics is working splendidly. The trend is down. Where we've been going for over a year is to bring inflation and the trend down from the 9% it hit during the Biden years because of their profligacy. I think, obviously, it's a great irony that the Democrats and socialists who want to make affordability the cornerstone of their political capital basically have the 10 states in the union minus Florida that have the worst problems with affordability. The thing that always, I think, should resonate with the American people is this, Bob. President Trump wanted to stop 20 million illegal immigrants coming into America, stealing our jobs, driving down our wages, changing our culture, changing our political system. And he did that literally on day one. Now, what has happened on the housing affordability issue has been a true Trump miracle, because if you take those people and you put them on planes, buses, and trains and get them the hell out because they're illegal, yes, housing demand falls dramatically, and so does the housing problem in terms of prices. And we've seen that beautifully. And what we haven't seen, though, Bob, is in the sanctuary cities, the Chicagos and the New Yorks and the Los Angeles of this country, where it's been more difficult to solve that problem. We haven't seen housing affordability get as better as it is in the rest of the country. That's all you need to know. I mean, this is a choice. It's going to be a choice in November. And if you want affordability, you're going to vote Trump and the candidates that Donald John Trump endorses in the House and the Senate, because we have to take and hold the House and the Senate. Look, I went to prison, Bob, because we lost the House of Representatives. Those clowns started throwing out illegal subpoenas and weaponizing the process. And I'm telling you, we cannot let the Democrats gain control of this country again, because they'll give us inflation, they'll give us a weaponized justice system, and everything in between, never mind the defund the police and all this kind of stuff like that. I'm in Washington, D.C. This truck where I'm in, spoiler alert, this is not a studio, it's a beautiful truck.
I'm sure it is.
Studio. This would be a dangerous place if it weren't for the National Guard here in this neighborhood, okay? This place is safe because Trump brought the National Guard to Washington, D.C., and now people are free to walk around the streets. You put the government in the hands of the Democrats, it's going to cost you more, and it could cost you your life, and everything in between is just as bad.
Well, as the Speaker pointed out, could cost us our constitutional republic here. And I don't think, he just by accident, he chose to talk about that today. I think something happened in that meeting, and they said, oh, boy, we got a real problem on our hands. We got to address it. Something else I want to talk about involves Iran, but our economy, Peter, as a whole. Yesterday, the president, he was proposing a 20% toll on all the ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Today, he backed off on that. This is what he posted about after some conversations. He said he decided to replace the 20% United States reimbursed fee with trade and investment deals on the various Gulf states we'll be making with the United States. Talk about what that could look like, what that could mean, but then really all the other trade deals the president has cut and how these are going to take time here to come to the United States till they come to fruition.
Well, let's think about a couple of things. First of all, the Strait of Hormuz has been historically a choke point. But what we're seeing right now is an epiphany among the Gulf states and the rest of the world that Iran, as long as that regime stays in power, is going to pose a threat. So what we're seeing in Trump time, in real speed time, we're seeing the world diversify away from the Strait of Hormuz as a way of tamping down on any inflationary pressures that the mullahs could otherwise exert on the world economy. So that's number one. Number two, it's like, just like in NATO, the European allies are free riders. American taxpayers pay the biggest bill in NATO. It's also true that in the Middle East, security there, the free riders there are the Gulf states. It's the Saudis, Kuwait, Qatar, and on down. And what President Trump wants to do, I think, is to have the Gulf states be infinitely more responsible in a joint way with the United States for security of that region. And one way, obviously, to do that is through investment, which defrays the cost of us having to be the policeman of the Strait of Hormuz. So I think it's really important. This whole conflict with Iran has really crystallized the danger and also the ways that we can work around in a way which will get us to economic prosperity and permanently lower oil prices. And the Gulf states, they're going to have to share the burden. And one way to do that is through investment, just like NATO has to share the burden by having the NATO countries pay more. And by the way, where are the British and the French and the Germans and the rest of Europe, which get the oil from the Strait of Hormuz, to light their lights? Why aren't they helping more with this issue? President, he's got a big chess game going on behalf of the American people, and we have to win that chess game. It's as much as a strategic and thought game as it is bombs. Donald John Trump is winning this war, but we got to get everybody involved on the ally side to make sure that regime doesn't do what it's been able to do in the past.
And what they set out to do. And I think, Peter, that so many world leaders, whether it's here in the United States or across Europe or across the Middle East, have said for decades, something's got to be done about Iran. You got to give President Trump credit to having the courage, the administration, to actually finally go do something, not just talk here. Peter Navarro, we got to leave it there. Always a pleasure. Good to see you.
Take care, Bob.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.